The offer arrives, relief hits first. You say yes before the excitement cools, telling yourself you will fix the number at the next promotion. By the end, you will see why waiting for permission can quietly cost a career fortune, and what to prepare before your next offer, review, or internal move, without turning into someone who argues for sport. Carnegie Mellon economist Linda Babcock has warned graduate students that skipping negotiation at the start can leave around $1 million on the table across a lifetime, once later raises build on that lower base. Some versions of that warning stretch toward $1.5 million when you include how employer retirement contributions also ride on a percentage of pay. The exact total varies, the direction does not. Waiting feels polite, waiting feels loyal. Waiting feels like the professional thing when you are grateful just to have the role. That is the permission trap. Fear often wears a professional mask. It sounds like culture fit, timing, or not wanting to rock the boat. Underneath, it is usually the same thing: discomfort with naming a number. Curious neighbor asks the fair question: if I get promoted later, doesn't that fix it? Sometimes the title changes. The weak base can still travel with you. Here is the reframe: many raises are percentages of your current number. Promotion does not automatically rebuild a low starting base. It often multiplies whatever base you already accepted. That is why one quiet acceptance can echo for decades. Same percentage later, different dollars, the machine was set on day one. Households often feel this late. The tight month looks like lifestyle. Sometimes it is still the base you accepted, when saying yes felt like the only polite move. The permission trap is believing you need a special invitation before your pay can be discussed. Offers, reviews, and role changes are often the invitation, and most people walk past them. Pew Research found that only about 3 in 10 US workers asked for higher pay the last time they were hired. Silence is common. Silence is not proof the number was fair. Among those who did ask, about 2/3 got more than the first number. Not everyone wins the full ask. Many still move off the opening figure. Gratitude and market clarity can live in the same room. Being thankful for the opportunity does not require accepting the first figure as destiny. Internal moves count too. A new team can copy your old underpaid number and call it continuity. Continuity is only good when the base was already healthy. When the number feels low, people usually choose one of 3 responses. Same pattern each time: vibe, trade-off, hurdle. Response 1 is accepting quietly. The vibe is relief, no awkward email, no risk of looking greedy. The stress ends in 5 minutes. The trade-off is locking the base before you know the band, the market, or what else in the package could move. Speed feels kind. Speed can be expensive. The hurdle is confusing politeness with a closed door. Many employers expect some discussion. Silence can be read as this number is fine forever. Response 2 is waiting for promotion. The vibe is strategic patience. Work harder. Be indispensable. Let the title catch up to the effort. The trade-off is that promotion often adjusts from the number you already have. Hard work can earn the title, while the underpaid base still sets the math. The hurdle is outsourcing your pay to a future committee. Committees are slow. Markets move. Your household bills do not wait for the perfect cycle. Promotion can arrive empty-handed on the money that matters. Title pride is real. Mortgage math still reads the base. Celebrate the title, then check whether the number moved with it. Response 3 is negotiating at real leverage moments: offer stage, role change, or formal review, with preparation instead of panic. The vibe is adult and specific. The trade-off is temporary discomfort. You may not get everything. You still replace guessing with a clear ask backed by evidence. The hurdle is fear stories. Some workplaces are rigid, many are not. The way through is research and tone, not a dramatic ultimatum. Here is the middle turn. Promotion can feel like the jackpot, while quietly multiplying a number that was already too low. Waiting for a better title is not the same as resetting the base. Loyalty without a number is still a pay strategy, just an accidental one. Companies budget. Households also need a budget story that includes the base, not only hope. So pause on this privately. Are you waiting because the timing is truly wrong, or because asking for a fairer base still feels like you need permission? For early career workers, the first offer can feel non-negotiable because any salary looks like survival. That is exactly when the base matters most, because it may follow you into the next role. For switchers, employers often anchor to your last number. If that number was already suppressed, matching it can recreate the same trap in a new logo. Some systems have little room on base pay. The lesson still applies. Know which lever can move step level, start date, bonus, remote days, or development budget, instead of waiting for a fantasy negotiation. Now the sober part. Even when you do everything right, annual raise budgets can be modest. That makes the starting base more important, not less. Surveys of US employers have pointed to salary increase budgets around 3.5% for 2026. A normal raise is not designed to repair years of underpaying. It usually preserves the order that already exists. Catch-up is rarely the default path. Budgets often fund across-the-board movement, not a private repair of your personal gap. Hoping the next cycle will make you whole is how years pass. Wherever you live, the pattern often rhymes. Roles have bands, offers have anchors. Waiting for a perfect invitation still leaves the compounding engine on the first number you accepted. Trap 2 is hoping performance will negotiate for you. Performance helps. Calendars and clear asks still matter. Invisible excellence is easy for budgets to ignore. Trap 3 is swinging from silence to an ultimatum. The goal is not to win a fight. The goal is to place a researched number into a real decision window. This is not asking you to bluff, bully, or pretend every employer has infinite cash. It is asking you to stop treating underpayment as a personality test you can pass by waiting. Unequal social costs are real for some workers. Tone, framing, and evidence matter. Collaborative language, market fit, scope, and retention often lands cleaner than a raw demand. The practical move is preparation before emotion. When the next leverage moment appears, you already know your range, your proof, and your fallback. Write the ask before you feel brave. Bravery is unreliable under pressure. A prepared paragraph is reusable. First, gather a realistic range from more than one source: job posts, level frameworks, trusted market tools, or peers in similar roles. Write a range, not a fantasy spike. Second, list proof the employer already values: results shipped, scope owned, problems solved, skills that are hard to replace. Negotiation is easier when it sounds like alignment, not appetite. Third, pick the moment with leverage, before you accept when scope expands or in the formal review window. Random Friday events rarely move budgets. Scope creep is a signal, not a compliment to ignore. If the job quietly became a bigger job, the conversation belongs on the calendar before the next annual cycle resets the excuse. Fourth, ask with a researched range and a short reason. You are not begging. You are locating yourself in the band they already use. Fifth, decide your fallback before the meeting. Accept with a dated review, trade for another lever, or walk away if the gap stays too wide. Clarity beats improvisation. If base pay is frozen, ask what can move. A signing bonus, a higher level, remote flexibility, development support, or an earlier review can still change the year. Do not freeze just because one door is locked. If the number rises, protect the gain. A higher base that immediately becomes a higher lifestyle can erase the wealth effect. Let part of the increase strengthen buffer or investments first. Progress is not one magical confrontation. It is fewer silent accepts, clearer ranges and bases that stop drifting below the market for years at a time. In couples, compare notes. One partner's silent accept can shape the household budget for years while the other assumes we are fine. Pay is a household system, not a private personality quirk. You are not greedy for checking the base. You are protecting the compounding engine your future raises will use. That is a money skill, not a personality flaw. If a big offer ask feels impossible, practice on lower stakes first. Clarify scope. Ask for a dated review. Build the muscle before the highest leverage moment arrives. There will be discomfort either way. 5 minutes of a clear ask, or years of a quieter paycheck. Choose the discomfort that leaves your household stronger. Back at that offer screen, the goal was never to become difficult. It was to stop waiting for permission while the wrong base quietly compounds. Permission was never the missing ingredient. Preparation was. The market does not send a formal invitation to notice your own underpayment. One calm conversation will not rewrite every past year. It can still stop the next decade from copying the same quiet mistake. That alone is enough reason to prepare your researched range before the next offer lands on your desk. Do not wait for a promotion to repair a number you never questioned. Prepare the range. Ask at the leverage moment. Subscribe to this channel for more clear money steps like this.